Good afternoon, dear students. Today we are talking about author purpose and point of view. It's devoted to mass media subject. Okay, you know that there are about analyzing mass media materials so many actions, so many activities. One of the significant activities is author's purpose. If we speak about author purpose, it is somehow so complicated process. While analyzing the mass media materials, there are three types of authors' activities. You can analyze all of them. The first is author purpose. The second, author opinion. The third is author point of view. What's the author purpose? The author purpose is the main reason that he or she has for writing the selection. In this case, there are several types of author purpose on mass media materials. There's no matter it is audio material or video material or paper material of mass media things or items. The author purpose divided into three main parts. They are to entertain, to inform, to persuade. Author's purpose in persuading. What can we mean in this process or in these features? If the author's purpose is to persuade, the authors will want you to believe his or her position. In this case, he or she can choose some illustration, choose some terms, choose some anecdotes, or in some cases, some facts, evidence, or etc. Persuasive pieces are usually non-fiction. They are taken from life because readers should believe for them, or readers should have trust towards the persuasive aim of the authors. Although there are facts, it contains the author's opinions. The next is with the persuasive pieces. It is clear on the author's point of view. She or he can be for or against. In this case, in a reader's mind, there will come two kinds of features. One of them author's opinion, one of them author's point of view. What's the differentiation between them? What's the author's opinion and what's the author's point of view? If there is given some mass media material with facts, with evidence, with some statistics, which are considered as obvious things, certain things, after this, authors can, for example, give his reaction. And in some cases, he can analyze these facts or evidence. This can be author's opinions because it is conducted according to the given things or certain things. The next is author's point of view. Point of view can be characterized by the author's life experience, characters, or skills, and etc., which are considered some personal or which is belong to only author. Can be considered author's point of view. Point of view is a reflection of the opinion an individual from real life or fiction can have. It is a way of authors allows you to see and hear what is going on. Or pay attention to this. Point of view is not opinion. Because the face point of view also can mean opinion. As for example, Bill had a different point of view, or someone had a different point of view, or some readers have a trouble understanding what the face means in literary terms. When we discuss point of view, we are not really talking about what an author's theme or opinion is. We are simply identifying who the narrator is and what that voice's relation to a story is. Or in some cases, in other, for example, critics characterized that author's purpose, or they divided author's purpose in some cases. There are according to 4 types of purpose. They can be considered to inform, to persuade, to entertain, and one of the additional, to expose. And author's purpose in his reason for or intent in writing. In some cases, an author's purpose may be to amuse the reader, or to persuade the reader, or to inform the reader, or in some cases, to satirize a condition. And also writes with 1 or 4 general purposes in his mind. And in some evidence which is belong to analyzing of mass media materials, there are given an author's purposes, about the author's purposes, and also writes with 1 of 4 general purpose in his mind. For example, if it is about news, firstly, to relate the first function, to relate a story or to recount events, and also uses as a narrative writing. The second function, which is related to author's purpose, is to tell what something looks like, sounds like, or feels like, or the author uses descriptive writing in this case, because there should be descriptive approach. There should be some description, depiction of any items or any objects, any, for example, evidence, any happenings. It is related to descriptive writing. The third function, which is related to author's purpose, is persuasive writing. In this case, authors convince a reader to believe an idea or to take a course of action. The author uses persuasive writing in this case. The last one is to inform or to teach the reader. The author uses expository writing. We know that in some criminal mass media materials, we can face some terms which are related to criminals or to some field which is about accusing someone or about legislation and etc. It's related to expose the criminal. And when we learn, for example, author's purpose, in some cases, author's purpose is reflected in the way he writes about a topic. For instance, his purpose is to amuse. He will use jokes or anecdotes in his writing. Clues to an author's purpose may be found in titles, prefaces, and the author's background. And for example, reporting the news or to inform the news in mass media, authors can use some clues, because this type of this option of mass media can draw the readers, can draw the mass media consumers' attention. And author purpose can be characterized in mass media materials as the, for example, as a sample of evidence, or in, for example, depicting of some celebrities or anniversary. In any cases, just we'll have some exercises, some tasks, which is about learning the author's purpose. Pay attention to these exercises. Read each paragraph, then select the answer that best describes the author's purpose in writing. Pay attention to the passage. It's taken from a mass media material. The word terroricide. It's not committed with guns and knives, but with relentless bulldozers, roaring dump trucks, and giant shovels like as a mythological beast. Dynamic cuts and trips upon mountains to reach the minerals inside, leaving nothing but empty, naked hills. The land is left wasted and allowed to slide down upon houses into streams, making the land unlivable and the stream water undrinkable. This is terroricide, or if you prefer, strip mining. Pay attention to this text. It's as a narrative text, and pay attention to the answers. Also, the author's purpose is to inform you about the purpose of strip mining, or describe a strip mining operation, or persuade you that strip mining is bad for the environment, or as a defined terroricide. In this case, there is some description or describe a strip mining operation in this example. Pay attention to the next example. The human sex chromosomes are of the XXXA group pattern. The X chromosome is much smaller than the X chromosome. Two types of sperm cells are formed during the gamegenesis. Half of these have X chromosome and the others have Y chromosome. Every egg cell has an X chromosome. Therefore, fertilization determines the sex. If a Y sperm cell fertilizes the egg, a male develops. The author's purpose is to explain how the sex of human is determined or described. Chromosomes. C is tell the steps of fertilization, or contrast XY chromosome. It is about explanation. Explain how the sex of humans is determined. And there are given several examples and several type of author's purpose in these examples, and you can learn all of them, and you can identify the function of author's purpose. Thank you for your attention. Today's lesson is over.